expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
Now, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room, and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it. What's going on, you Lysol lathering lumpy liver lap dogs? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Life and laugh!
He's like, I got to think about it. Is it a ride and roast? What are we doing?
Yeah, I've screwed that up a few times in the past.
Well, we are officially diving back in for the first time in quite a while into Guinness Extra Stout.
And for old time's sake,
yes,
taking my medication with my beer.
Is this the blood pressure medication? Uh-huh. Yes, of course, because that's how we roll around here.
Don't ever do that.
if y'all remember going back to like season 1 or 2 when we did Dude Law,
Dun-dun.
this was the beer that I bought for Pop that day.
Yeah.
And he's like, we shot 2 episodes in a day. By the time we shoot the second one, he's like, tongue is numb. It was a very interesting shoot day. The stuff isn't even that strong, but for some reason it just hits like a ton of bricks.
I don't know what it is. It's the calories. I don't know.
Could be the calories. I mean, could just be how they make it.
This is extra stout. It's like 2 ham sandwiches in a bottle.
Yeah. And my buddy always jokes around and says that drinking a Guinness is like drinking a steak.
All right. Also, everyone out there likes the whiteboards. So I am going to be filming
racists.
I'm going to be filming a series of whiteboards coming up. The next one coming up is basically
I saw the diagrams, okay?
It's a briefing on manipulation and the verbiage that women use to see if you're ripe for the plucking, shall we say.
I'm just saying, though, if you show to anybody but me, you might get some, gay cruise level gay action going on there, because he basically drew the Grunt stick figure equivalent of a goatsy, and I looked at him like, welcome. And there's an arrow pointing to the dangling, twig and berries that says manipulation handle or lever.
Lever. Yeah.
Manipulation lever, yes.
Yeah, and the butthole is a cuck gina.
The cuck gina. And if you haven't gone on the cruise yet, it's your behymen.
Oh, God damn it. I didn't even see that one. Getting your business lips bashed in.
Oh, God.
Dude, I love it when I come up with a new term and he laughs.
Your business lips bashed in.
Remember the first couple years, he never really knew what I was doing?
No, you just show up.
Yeah, I would just show up and write stuff on the board, and I'd start talking. You could hear him in the background.
I'm like, what the fuck?
He's like...
Some of that stuff turned into comedy gold.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like 500 Miles of Mr. Right. I think most of that episode was you and I just cracking each other up.
It was fucking hilarious. We need to put together a CD of outtakes.
Total cocks.
Well, if we have just the outtakes without copyrighted stuff in it, we could sell that. People would probably love the outtakes.
Be a bad thing. Yeah, the outtakes are pretty epic.
Now, let us know in the comments if you would like to buy the outtakes.
Yeah, or I could even go through. I mean, I would have to need a lot of spare time to do this. If somebody else has more time than me, wants to go through it. Unfortunately, though, is because all of the old episodes up through 2017-ish, 2018,
first 3.5 seasons,
they were all cut on Apple Final Cut Pro. 7, not Final Cut X. Final Cut X got iMovie to smithereens. I took one look at it. I attempted to edit one project on it, and I just gave up.
Yeah,
I was like, this is shit sauce. So I jumped over to Adobe Premiere. Been with it ever since.
But the thing is you can't really cut apart that other stuff, right?
You can't cross-plat. I would actually have to find a computer probably that's over 10 years old at this point just to be able to do it. One of my editors, I think, has her old Mac Pro. Maybe I can give her a talk to. Like, hey, you ginger, I know you don't have a soul, but do you have an old computer that I can borrow?
We could I'll buy one on eBay. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You figure it out, man.
Pop and Blake are wearing black. Wacists?
Oh, this is green, man.
Yes, it's green. Yeah, I'm wearing black.
I'm wearing the usual.
It's kind of gray underneath here.
Yeah, this is the U.S. Army smoking jacket attire.
And this is my own version of a smoking jacket. I actually bought this for a buddy of mine because he works as a mechanic down in Plymouth. He used to be the only mechanic in a nice warm garage over here in Troy. He was transferred over to Plymouth, which is like a 3-bay garage, and the doors are always open, even in the freaking dead of winter. So I found him this thing, and it's got a battery pack down here, so it's got heating coils. Mm-hmm. And I was like, here, and I know you're going to be freezing your ass off. Here you go. He calls me back 3 days later. He's like, dude, best present ever.
Total game changer, huh?
And it's been a cold winter, so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to pick up this. It's going to be my smoking jacket for when we're on streams because it keeps me nice and toasty. Speaking of nice and toasty, though, we got a lot of really weird shit to talk about tonight, man. And nothing is going to be toastier than your old man when none other than Lily Phillips, the 100-cock stare, comes to a nursing home near you because that's her new plan for getting attention.
Stand by. If you are a dude in a nursing home and some young piece of tail comes up and goes, "Hey,
yeah,
do you mind if I slip and fall on your Peg D 220 times in a 5 to 7 minute period?
All right, sign me up.
And we'll film it. And, you're on your way out. You might as well come while you're going."
You're coming and going.
Yeah, at the same time.
That woman is going to walk out of this smelling like boner pills and Desitin. It's going to be a very bad day for everybody involved outside of that nursing home.
Like, my mother is in one of those places now. And I'm going to tell you, like, I walk into that place and I absolutely dread it.
Yes.
Because
when my grandma was in one very briefly when she had like a really bad attack a few years before she died. And man, oh man. That is where dignity goes to die before you do.
Yeah, there's no way I couldn't do it. I could not be. I couldn't do it. I would not live in that place.
No, I'd go pick a gunfight in Detroit.
That's absolutely correct. Or maybe I don't know, jump a bridge while it's being lifted.
Okay, I just happened to see this, okay? As the captain of the gay cruise, I have to point this out. The read more section underneath the headline says, what does it say? Tragedy as gay porn's biggest star dies unexpectedly. Would you get a violent anal prolapse or something? I mean, this shouldn't be a shock to anybody.
Well, first of all, you and I both know when you use equipment the way it's not supposed to be used, it tends to break.
It tends to backfire. There tends to be problems with that. Yeah,
like if you're trying to hammer deck nails with a wrench, usually not a good idea. I've seen that done.
Yeah, or you get that Homer Simpson moment when you're on the roof trying to shingle the house, and you think that putting your thumb on the nail while you're lining it up is a good idea.
That would be a good show. Drunk Building Olympics.
Home improvement. Or nowadays with the children of single mothers, home simp improvement. Terrible.
But this is what's going.
She's gonna bang an 82-year-old dude, bro.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. That's fine and dandy. But I'm just wondering, wow. I mean, we already know that this woman's getting all kinds of undue attention, and we're guilty of giving her some of it.
Is this the 100-cock girl?
This is the 100-cock girl, yes. The one who cried afterwards, and now she's insisting, no, she's totally fine. She says, I would love to do some charity work while I'm here. I think you already are.
Yeah.
So anyone in a care home, hit me up. I let anyone have a go, even including guys that could be my granddad or my little brother. You're 23. If it's your little brother, jail.
All right, hang on. If she's 23 and these dudes are 80, that's your great-grandfather.
Yeah. She has become a multimillionaire because of these stunts, but this is what really, really kills it for me. For me, there is no amount of money that would make me stop. There's no goal. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I just really enjoy it. Your tears after your little fun fest kind of spit in the face of that.
But didn't somebody beat her to the 1,000-cock dare?
Yeah, the Bonnie Blue, I think is her name, something like that. It either sounds like like a brand of cottage cheese or like a heifer on a farm.
This is some crazy dildo dipping sauce. I mean, this is insane.
Oh,
God damn, that's horrible.
I'm very used to sleeping with a lot of guys. I did this as a hobby before I did it for work. You have a very strange definition of the word work. So that's not outrageous to me. Well, maybe not to you, because you're broken. But to the rest of us, yeah. Wow.
But this is what our world has come to. Because isn't she in the UK?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean,
she got the British accent. It's not exactly Cockney. She prefers to suck cock on her knees instead of speaking it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just as bad over here in the States. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for somebody who is, I guess, honest enough to just put it out there, as opposed to most modern women who do a lot of the same shit that she does and just hide it.
I've never done this before.
I don't normally do this.
Yeah,
How many people in the chat, just send me the wavy little hand emoji or whatever. Who in the chat has heard the, I've never done this before, or I don't normally do this, and then you find out down the road, not only do they do it and do it well, oh, it was a very, very learned technique through countless just waving fields of ass experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've only done this once before.
Yeah.
This new taco technique.
Yeah, just touching the reeds of cock as you walk by. It's like Gladiator. Oh, man, the chat's just blowing up with the wavy hands. It's happening to me! Happening to me!
Yeah, well, it has.
Oh, it's like 15, 16 dudes, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Like, I normally don't do blowjobs.
I normally don't.
Literally, it's like taking the chrome off a bumper hitch while your eyes roll back in your head. Go, okay. You've never done this before.
I've never done this before.
I check this out.
Hey,
All
take
right.
it like a champ.
This is all right. This is what I thought about in my sleep last night. Okay, I'm sitting there, and my grandmother's long since passed away. And I was having this dream that my grandmother was talking to my sister when she was younger, like 13, 14. And my grandmother is conveying wisdom such as baking and cooking and, doing useful stuff around the house.
Useful stuff?
And
who knew?
I mean, that's the way things were usually passed down. And the way it's going now, when these women of today become grandmothers, if they are that fortunate, they're going to be like, all right, this is what you got to do. You got to make sure you massage the tip with your tonsils while not gagging, and handle the load. You must swallow it, but don't spit. I mean, this is just nightmare fuel. It's absolutely just insane.
This is the real denture adventure.
It is.
Yeah.
That's another one I'm doing. I'm going to actually make a map of Boxwine and Catland with different terrain features.
You look like Candyland. We could do a Boxwine and Catland board game.
Oh.
No, now you're talking. Now you're cooking with gas.
Yes. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
If we could find a company that could do that, we could sell it one piece at a time.
Anybody out there into designing board games, or you got a bug and you think you want to explore it, you let us know. One other awesome thing, we're trying to get away from the denture adventure spiel over here with Lily Phillips for a moment. We've had some short stories that we've been getting, been kind of stagnating in the email. So I figured I'd go through a couple of them right now. This one comes to us from Gordon. There's actually two here. He says, "Dear Pops, a while ago I promised a bottle of whiskey. However, I made a donation instead. It was driving me around the twist trying to figure out how to send it. At least this way you can get a halfway decent bottle to share with the toxic male." Yes. Well,
and don't send it to me.
If it comes here, I will get a half a shot of it, just so you know.
Don't send it here.
Anyway, I have two stupid stories for you. A friend of mine I had known for most of my life at the time kept getting beaten by her boyfriend. She was too scared to leave. You know how that goes. I bet she's going to wind up on Cops one day. Oh, no, wait, they canceled it.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the funny comes in. It was Muppet's birthday, and he came back from the pub pretty drunk. I'm guessing Muppet is a buddy of his who didn't choose his own nickname. Because you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's bad luck to choose your own nickname.
And he came back from the pub pretty drunk, ready to go out to a nightclub. I was there and had hatched a fiendish plan. Muppet used Brill cream in his hair. I had boiled out the jar and filled it with Emmick.
What's Emmick?
That is a hair-removing wax.
What?
It's like Nair.
Oh, God!
Yeah. He was too drunk to smell the difference. He used the Emmick, and 15 minutes later, I said, "What's wrong with your hair, mate?" He said, "Nothing." Put his hand through his hair, which then came off in his hand. He let out a high-pitched squeak and went for her, but I'd already moved partway between them. At 6'3" and 240 pounds, and at the peak of my fighting career, he had just started mouthing, and I just laughed. His hair did not grow back properly for many months, and from then on, everyone called him Peach Fuzz. She stayed with me, paving her way as best as she could by making meals, doing the washing, and making what financial contributions she could. if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up giving her away at her wedding,
Ah.
as both her father and stepfather had died. Oh, that's rough. That's right.
That's actually that's all right. We're gonna have to give you a golf clap for that.
Yeah,
one.
that's good on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Last I heard, she was ecstatically married still to the same guy 25 years later. In it to win it. Yes.
Here's to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to that. Absolutely. And a quality prank on a person who obviously deserved it.
That's happened.
What? Oh, they're doing the hair removal stuff?
The eyebrow remover.
Ah, yes.
It happened to me.
Wasn't it the tape or something that they did it? No? It was the Nair thing? Oh, okay.
I just woke up and I'm like, oh, shit. And then there's a razor and a permanent marker. So either shave one off or draw one on. I opted for draw it on. I went down to formation and everyone's just like, still, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the guy who got his entire face and neck boot blacked.
That was hilarious. I love that one.
It comes down to formation. And the platoon sergeant's like, had a rough night? This is everything cool. Oh, okay. I guess it was a rough night.
It reminds me of the video, the mom, looking at her phone, sitting on the couch in the dark, and the little girl just
Yeah.
blackface.
Dude, that is comedy gold. Those are hilarious. She's like,
Classic.
"Ah!"
Fucking classic.
But that's like some shit you do in the barracks.
We should do like a year end fucked up but funny where we have everybody like in the regiment send us like some of their favorite video clips that we showed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I keep everything, just so you all know. I have all the video submissions. I don't get rid of anything. It's all in my graveyard of external hard drives. I literally have a dresser, an old repurposed dresser in my office that's just full.
Aren't we
of
up to
hard
like
drives.
17 terabytes of shit now or something?
Minimum. The one that I'm about to fill up now is 15 by itself.
Wow.
So we're probably closer to 30, possibly 40, because this is the 7th drive.
I'm going to be
that
honest.
filled up
If we ever break it into the mainstream, those drives are going to be worth a fortune.
We're going to keep them safe. Second story. A lot of my friends have done postdoctoral research, but one turned into the best contract gardener in the area. There were rich twats gazumping each other to get his services. Gazumping?
What the?
I don't know. It's a new word on me. Gazumping? Is that an Urban Dictionary term?
Could you please give us the definition of gazumping?
Can you please use the word in the sentence? Otherwise, we're going to have to take away your triple word
Because that's going in the book right now.
You're cheating at Scrabble. He just laughed all the way to the bank because he was happy as Larry, just in a caravan in the corner of a local farmer's field that charged him something like 350 pounds a year. And this is where the funny comes in. He decided to get his own back on an investment company in London that kept changing their minds on what they wanted and refusing to pay until it was finished. Turns out they had done this to several landscape gardeners before. One of the key things in the atrium was the self-leveling fountain. The other was the ventilation. One of our crew got him 6 small drums of a foaming agent to put in the fountain.
Foaming agent.
Looked like that Asian, porno movie where the chick's foaming vagina eats the dude alive and dissolves his corpse.
Oh my God.
Apparently he did this on the Friday, and by Tuesday, Monday was a national holiday, the bubbles were up to the 5th floor. Woo!
Woo!
Best regards, a dude from England. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Remember, it's still there. It's Cranbrook in the Birmingham Bloomfield Hills.
Sean St. George says, the Fucked Up But Funny Awards sounds like a good show, just like the Can't Understand Normal Thinker and the Murphy Story of the Year. You got to write these down, bro. We need a Can't Understand Normal Thinker Award and a Murphy. We could do like a monthly Can't Understand Normal Thinker and Murphy Award.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fantastic. Okay, dude, Sean. Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
What was the other one?
So Can't Understand Normal Thinker, Murphy Story, and Fucked Up But Funny Awards. I dig it. What I don't dig is when, let's see, State of the Union was the other night when you were on the air with Battledwarf, right?
Yeah.
And Democrats made asses of themselves.
I think it started almost when we're almost done.
Yeah.
with the show.
Al Green got ejected by the sergeant at arms because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. They decided to put up these things that look like auction paddles, which the internet is having all kinds of fun with.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Democrats can never do anything right. And then it actually got worse.
Okay.
It actually got worse because now
here we go.
They want us to think that a bunch of stunning and brave women are going to fight for you.
Mm-hmm.
Choose your fighter.
Get the fuck out of here. That girl in the pink jacket can't even make a fist.
Yeah, Jasmine Crock of shit is what
right.
they should call it. But look at all these. Like, there's no actual achievements here in their bullet points. Bento box queen, mommy of the century, sleep deprived. Congratulations. Who cares? Next, AOC, New York's 14th congressional district, youngest woman and Latina to be elected to the House.
Stand by right there.
Trekkie.
Please, somebody out there, grab this video clip right here, right? And have her dancing on a pole.
Well, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch.
No.
What's behind her looks like Elizabeth Taylor's pool house.
Yep.
Next to what do we got here? Youngest black woman elected to Congress. No one cares. Co-founded the Black Maternal Office. Isn't that like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome? Hates balloons.
Okay.
Well, then you're going to be really disappointed when you see your head. Next, Catherine Clark, House Minority Whip and chain. Massachusetts 5th Congressional District, not into hair dye. And then we have...
She can't even make a fist.
I know. California's 28th Congressional District, first Chinese-American woman elected to Congress, too sweet.
You know what? We need to do an AI, video fighting game. What are some of the big fighting games back in the day?
What, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. We need to do a Mortal Kombat with these chicks in there.
I kind of like Full House Tournament Fighter.
No, we have the Republicans and the Democrats. You can pick your fighter, and they go in. They have like a gay slap fight. And
Mortal Muskrat.
Yeah.
I like that. Go in there, Ariane. Oh, man. What do you say to something? This is so cringe.
But here's the thing.
Oh, Tekken. That's a good one. Yeah.
The Democrats are not learning from their mistakes.
Have they ever?
Well, actually, yeah. They've actually been pretty adaptive in the past. When they either came close to losing an election or lost an election, they were usually Johnny on the spot to course correct their party to get back on track. And I think the Democrats are done.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, they should have learned. Instead, or should I say, but instead, they're doubling and tripling down on stupid. It's almost like, if I thought they had any self-awareness, I would think it was self-sabotage.
Well, I'm going to be honest, and I just filmed this last week, Night of the Long Knives.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to follow this money, and they're going to start indicting people for taking kickbacks and fraud, waste, and abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I got hemmed up in the AR RAP program, and that was back, I believe, in 07 through 2010, where you put somebody in the service and they paid you like $2,100 per person. And when it came out, I handled it just like I did as a mortgage, because when I would do a mortgage for somebody for $100K, I'd make about $2,500, and I set up a booth at Gibraltar Trade Center North and South. And I literally talked to people, and if they wanted to go on me, I'd get their name, address, social security number, and it'd be just a brief description of what they wanted to do.
There you go.
And 80% of the people I sent to other services because they didn't fit the Army.
Boom.
And I put like 7 people in. Well, 6 years later, 3 of the people did not remember me. Well, why should they? I only talked to them for 15 minutes on a random Saturday. And I got hemmed up and got a GOMAR a general letter of reprimand over that shit.
No shit.
Yeah, and I hired a civilian attorney, and they made him sign a non-disclosure agreement, so he couldn't even share the information with me. So I got royally rat fucked.
That sounds like a railroad job.
It is, and that happens all the time in the federal government. And the only reason I didn't get royally hammered is I pled my case to the brigade commander, and he was like, "We're going to put it in your local file," which is literally the equivalent of that garbage can.
Yeah.
Because the minute you leave that unit, it just disappears.
There you go.
But there's some guys out there who went to prison, were dishonorably discharged, fucked up 3 ways to Sunday because the government's like, wait a minute, what happened to that money?
Yeah.
And they were like willing to flush my entire career. By this time, I was like 29 years in, 30 years in.
Damn.
Over 2 or 3 guys who didn't remember me. And like $6,000 or $6,500 worth of money. And now we have billions of dollars just going out the back door to companies that were set up that never filed tax returns, empty offices, never provided one fucking service because all of that money got stolen out the back end. And I'm going to be honest, people need to be hung. I'm sorry.
That's what Lily Phillips said.
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. It just occurred to me that the densest populations of AIDS patients are in nursing homes. And it's because they know they're on their way out anyway, so they just don't care. So good luck, Lily.
I don't know. Is that true?
I think there's the STD concentration in nursing homes is
I know
nuts.
But I don't know if it's AIDS or not.
Oh, there's a lot of AIDS, a lot of all that shit going around because
Syphilis,
they just don't care. Like whatever, like you put me here to die, I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna ask my attendant for rubbers, so I'm just whatever. Just gonna raw dog that shit.
You're gonna catch yourself some syphilumps.
Yeah.
Herpaganosyphilades with a side of broken shoulder, neck, back, knee.
I mean, it gets to the point where if you wake up with a boner, you just like Russian roulette the phone and just like whoever picks up. Yeah, I'm in room 88. You come on over. But be quick and don't slam the door. You might scare it off.
Time for denture adventure.
Time for a denture adventure, baby. Buckle up, Buttercup. MGTOW Mando over on Rumble says, let's kick this off with a bad joke just for the video guy. Why did the Russian tell the hooker to hurry up? Because he was not paying her by the hour.
Okay.
An hour. It needs to be. You got to tweak it.
It's like how I changed the name fiance to finance a boat.
Yeah.
Finance a house.
Not Handsome Jack with a question. Hey, Pop, would you consider doing a stream with Undead Chronic? He's considering people to bring on to talk about issues, and people in the chat were considering you. We have invited him on the stream before. If you go back to like year 1, you will see that there was a whole stream that was like titled around him, and then he never showed. That happened one or two more times, and after that, we just said
we're not going to get any beef.
It's no beef or anything,
beef,
but I mean, it's just we like to,
Yeah.
It is what it is. So
I get upset.
We just haven't pursued it since then. That's all.
Yeah. No beef.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys out there who got kind of butthurt because I went on Pearl Davis's show.
It is what it is. If you want to get butthurt because we're trying to get a message out to save dudes' lives and you don't like where it comes from,
I'm sorry.
Get fucked.
Like I'm at the point where I have to put aside my pride and arrogance. There's so many fucking dudes out there killing themselves, lost in the sauce
all the time.
That I need to be all proud and arrogant, and I can't do this, and I'm sorry.
When you're trying to save dudes' lives, and it's not about making a name for yourself. Yeah. I mean, if they're just reprehensible, we're not going to go on there. That's one thing. Yeah. But if you just don't agree,
yeah, because I will go on men's rights shows. I will do Red Pill MGTOW.
Yeah,
I'll go on anyone's podcast for the most part, even if I know it's going to be an ambush, because then I'll have fun.
No, it's good times, yeah.
Because I'll take the gloves off and I'll be like, okay,
hell yeah. What do we got here?
Herbal kung fu on your ass.
Oh, Total Hobnob jumping in with $100 donation.
All
Thank
right,
you so much. I'm going to give you a dog walker for that one. Never gets old. My brother watched the divorce survival guide I ordered from you guys, and he won sole custody of his son.
Whoa!
Oh!
Administrative violence, divorce, and custody edition.
It worked. He's doing a lot better now than he was doing 4 months ago.
Fuck.
Hallelujah. That's beautiful.
Oh my God. I'm about to cry.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm going to be honest. The reason I do this is one, to save lives and make sure some guys get the ending that I never got.
Yeah.
To get to have their fucking
kids.
kids.
Need their fathers. It's not just about the ending for the dudes, it's the ending for the kids.
Yeah.
Because if they wind up, being totally just, raised by females, essentially, I mean, we know that does not lead to a good thing.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't wind up in prison or dead is I went in the fucking army.
Yeah. A lack of masculinity is
fatal.
It's a disability.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I would say it has a high potential of being fatal.
Bad news bears. Go Away says, "Hi, you all. I just helped subdue a crackhead. Was his name George? I just can't put my knee on." I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're going to probably revisit his case.
Well, considering the fact that the original coroner's report has come out and we know for a fact that he had no damage to his neck, it was a heart attack caused by drugs, and not to mention his numerous other health issues from years of rampant drug abuse and pistol whipping pregnant women. Shit happens.
But the thing is when I first saw that footage,
the emotional reaction.
I was like, I'm getting pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
But
then we see the other footage that was shot before that, where he's in the back seat with no one on his neck saying the same shit, and you're like, "Oh, it was an act."
But what lesson did we learn from that? Whenever you see something on TV that gets a visceral, intense emotion,
that's by design.
You need to back up and go, "Why am I at 10 now? Let's back this down to 5 or 6."
There you go.
And let's wait for more information before I actually jump to conclusions.
You're damn right.
And I had to learn that lesson myself with that one.
Yeah, we all do.
I don't remember if I, went off the handle when I saw that shit or not on air.
Depending on, our life experiences and whatnot, certain things will get under our skin faster than others.
Yeah. Look, I have seen police in other countries do some reprehensible shit to people.
Yeah. And I have had people send me fucked up but funny submissions that have actually made me so angry. I have written back and said, "You don't get to send me another video after this."
Well, there's a guy named Brooks that was killed about 2.5 months ago in New York State in the Marcy Correctional Facility. And he was handcuffed and they beat him to death on body camera. Now,
like you do,
I saw that and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Did he spit on somebody? Did he
bite somebody?
Did he bite somebody, punch somebody? When I'm like, wait a minute. His hands are cuffed behind his back.
Yeah.
And like they were wailing on this guy. And I'm like, okay. Now that made me angry.
Yeah.
Because that is unacceptable.
Yeah, the dude being issued twister instructions in the hallway of the hotel in Arizona.
But the thing is if that continues to happen, you're going to wind up with like squads of insurrectionists armed with weapons.
Real ones, not fake ones.
Waiting outside for these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. That should not be allowed to happen. You should not have the police or correction or whoever have that much power where they can execute somebody and nobody does shit.
Amen to that. Qualified immunity needs to go bye-bye.
Well, these guys are getting hemmed up bad. They're like second degree murder.
Fuck them.
Look, all right. Now, but the thing is that would be a worthy story for all of the big media companies to get on board with. Because that is actual fucking murder taking place on camera.
But is he the wrong color? See, that's usually what it all boils down.
No, he was a basketball American.
Basketball American. Okay, so I'm actually kind of surprised this is the first time hearing about it.
Yeah, it came across my feed about a week and a half ago, and I'm like, this happened months ago, and I'm just hearing about it now. Like, what the fuck?
Every once in a while.
And I know guys who work in corrections in New York State, and I'm worried for them.
Yeah.
I really am. I mean,
This is bad, right?
that is not a good thing.
No, not bad. Not good at all.
And I know this show's not about that. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
just
fine.
went off in the weeds.
We're off in the weeds, but we're going to bring it back here. We got another Tales from the Shop from Rusty Bad Wrench. I always love these stories. We got sent this one back in November. So it's like I said, we've been sitting on some of these for a while. Every once in a while, we just get a story and I look at it. I'm like, I have no idea where this will fit.
Yeah.
So we'll just, whatever. We'll just read them off randomly. I'll start this one with a story about the athletic alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
Pop?
82nd Airborne Ranger Regiment. Yeah.
I went to talk to one of the transmission guys for something. As we were talking, a rat that was stoned out of its mind on starting fluid staggered in front of me. Don't ask. The transmission guys were a bunch of wild dudes. Anyway, I broke its neck with the heel of my boot. I put the rat in one of Double A's tool box draws.
Nice.
And he was kind of pissed. In retaliation, Double A and another guy cut an antifreeze jug in half and made a pivot system, then rigged it up on my locker so when I opened the door, it would spill on me. Me having the reflexes of a cat at the time, I avoided getting douched. Me being pissed off now, I opened up the entire locker rack and took the uniforms of both guys that tried to get me and power washed them in the bay. I neatly put the soaked uniforms back in their lockers and closed the rack. Both guys had to work in filthy uniforms the next day, and both were taught not to fuck with the donger.
The donger.
And the athletic alcoholic slept in class that day. Instead of taking his licks and letting it go, he did, after all, try to stomp me out the side door of a bus doing 40.
That's not funny.
That's taking it a little too far.
Yeah.
I don't recall what he did to me in particular as a retaliation, but I grabbed a can of spray paint and painted a massive cock and balls on the back of his shirt. Everyone laughed at him and came over to where he was at to laugh and stare. That went on for half the day before the service manager told him to go change his shirt, and only because some managers from corporate were on their way to the shop for manager meetings. At some point after that, I went to grab some parts out of the parts department. I found the alarm off. I grabbed my piece. The next story will explain why I kept a strap on me.
That's a gun.
You wear a strap on, bro?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It went into the parts department. I got to the women's locker room, and lo and behold, there was the athletic alcoholic pounding out a stripper on the couch in the ladies' locker room. I said, "What the fuck?" His response, without even stopping, was, "Fuck off, I'm busy." So I grabbed my parts, phrasing, boom, nailed it, and went back to work.
Yeah.
I'm still speechless some 20-odd years later when I think about it. I just can't unsee his ass bouncing up and down, and it kind of makes me throw up a little in my mouth.
Yeah.
It was said by others that I worked with he would do that all the time. Some of the other guys had caught Double A banging strippers in customer trucks and in his car out in the parking lot, and they were the skanky strippers, too. Henry VIII's quality and worse.
Oh.
Anyhow, on to what the Bad Wrench worked while wearing a strap. For all the connoisseurs out there, was a Colt Series 80 1911. The best part of wearing that is that if I need a hammer, I didn't have to climb down off the truck to get one out of my toolbox. I could just use the damn Colt. It weighed a ton and it was all steel. I'm not joking either. I've used it a bunch of times.
It's a World War II weapon. Yeah.
There you go.
I have one upstairs.
Nice. So there were two incidents that happened. The first one was a pimp and 4 or 5 ladies got the drop on me one night. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. They
got into the shop and were on me before I knew they were there. Now, I read that correctly. But when he wrote it incorrectly, it said they got into the shop and were in me before I knew they were there. See, this is why we proofread, dudes, because you just got homo confirmed by a typo.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm just saying. You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Wow.
You fucked yourself, bro. Figuratively, literally.
1 comma. All you need is 1 comma and you'd be fine.
Oh, and it's trying to do the freaking verification thing again. Kiss my ass, YouTube. You're fucking terrible.
They're what they're trying to do right now.
Well, it did the blank screen. You need to reload thing. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
reload it, and it's like, oh well, now you need to verify that it's you.
All right. Do I need to?
Just smurf my balls.
Are you going to get the number and stuff? Or?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll have my phone on so when it comes across.
YouTube.
What are you going to do? They do it all the time.
Yeah, they suck. Suck just like a ghost vacuum. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I left off at they were in him before he knew we were there. I'm lucky that they weren't thieves or people that wanted to do harm. Me, it's 23, by the way.
It's 23?
Yes. Me and the other guy working nights complained and wanted them to get a security guard or a watchman for night shift. Corporate said no. The final nail in the coffin of the last straw, so to speak, is when a disgruntled customer showed up and started shooting at me and the other guy. We found cover. It ate dirt. He was on the phone with 911, and the dumbass operator asked him to look and see what the shooter looked like.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, 911 operators, they're not exactly rogue scholars. Wow. Okay. He said, and I quote, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm not sticking my head out and looking anywhere. Don't you hear the gunshots? Because I sure can." The cops showed up, but the person was gone when they got there. I'd say the shooting was done in less than a minute, but we stayed undercover till the cops showed up. The next day, Colt became a member of my toolkit, and the other guy put one of his ARs in his locker. A week or so later, that guy showed back up and started shooting at us again, and we proceeded to have a shootout with a disgruntled customer.
Wow.
After that, he never came back. Cops got called again. Reports were made. I assume he got away because I was never contacted to go to court. But I'm willing to bet that he shit his pants when the guy I worked with opened up on him with an AR-15. And also the fact that he was standing out in the open where we had a clear line of sight and the guy had no cover.
See, he would not have gotten away.
See, this is why school shootings happen. Is because these dudes literally show up and it's fish in a barrel. Okay. If we still had gun ranges in school and we were teaching these kids their Second Amendment rights, do you think any of this shit would happen? Fuck to the no, because it never happened until schools became gun-free zones.
Well, if I was at my place of work and I had an AR-15,
damn,
and the dude started shooting the place up and he decided to run and there was no cover,
bad news bears.
He would not get away. I would not miss. I'm sorry.
No, never.
He'd have to run a quarter of a mile in like 5 seconds flat.
Yeah.
Because with an M16A2 with iron sights, I will, now phrasing here, I will drill your ass at 600 meters or less, no problem.
Oh!
I'm just saying. I mean, I was a damn good shot. I was a fucking sniper.
Yes.
Sniper.
In other words, be careful around Pop. He will drill your ass.
I walked right into that one.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. I'm glad this is a comedy show and we can laugh. Because I'd have a hard time keeping a straight face if we're a news broadcaster and he got drilled in the ass.
He got drilled in the ass. Got drilled in the ass. And the dildo, it smelled like mint chocolate chip Briars. I don't understand what's going on. He must have stopped off at 7-Eleven before he came over for his nightly ass drilling. What are you going to do?
Things happen, man. Slip and fall. 1 in a million. Dude. Please, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat if you guys find this funny.
There's a few people who sure as fuck do.
Because this is all impromptu humor, man. This is the best kind of humor.
That's exactly the best kind of humor. Well, a second, of course, only to this. Liberal women are now sterilizing themselves because Trump won.
Yes, please.
Your terms are acceptable.
Yes. All right. Now,
you really think we're going to complain about a bunch of leftoid lunatics taking themselves out of the gene pool?
But here's the thing, okay?
You're doing us a favor.
Well, the conservatives actually have a higher birth rate than the liberals.
Yeah.
And now they're sterilizing themselves. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah.
We don't need that.
It's almost like this is a self-correcting problem. We just haven't lived long enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. What do we got here? So, liberal woman gets sterilized in an effort to prevent making any Nazi babies. So you're sleeping with Nazis?
Well, okay.
That's good times.
This the left thinks if you are a conservative person, you're a Nazi.
Oh yeah, anyone to the right of Karl Marx is a Nazi.
You're a Nazi.
Although in her case, it would be goose stepping.
They call me Nazis all the time because I don't agree with communism with tits.
Yeah, I don't agree with communism with tits either. Might play with them, might tweak them, but I'm not going to embrace that.
That's right.
Suck a dick. Let's see what this stunning and brave liberal whammon has to say. Anyway, I mean, look at her. Woman's the epitome of average. We don't have to do anything. I'm going to mute this because I have no idea if this is copyright.
It is copyright.
Women have the babies best. We looked around. It's not. The best protest we have right now is to resist by falling into the same corporate traps that you always do.
Mm-hmm.
You are playing right into the oligarchy's hands, and you're so stupid you don't see it.
All right, well, here's the thing. Like, when I go and see my mother in this home,
amazing.
I'm like, she is so goddamn lucky that she has children.
Yeah.
Because every time I go up there, she's got to get cleaned up. I got to help her take a shower. If I was not there, she probably wouldn't even lived as long as she has.
Yeah. And, she's not the first.
Yeah.
If you remember back, I think it was last month, I think a month ago today, the article was released that the chair of the Michigan Progressive Women's Caucus sterilized herself to avoid becoming pregnant in Trump's America.
Good.
Yeah, good for you. Like you are doing all of us a favor.
Is that reversible?
It depends. I think if you have your tubes tied, that can be reversed, but there are ways in which it's not. And I guess it just depends if you do chemical. I know
they could put clips on there that could be unclipped in the future.
Yeah, and allegedly you can do the same with a vasectomy, but if it's on there for too long, it's still a wash.
Yeah,
even if you reverse it. You can have the clamps taken off, especially I know for a lot of dudes out there who get a vasectomy, they can deal with constant pain. Mm-hmm. So you take that off of there, you're not going to get your function back necessarily as far as shooting live rounds, but you can at least alleviate your pain. Allegedly, of course. I'm not a doctor.
This is not even cool.
This is hilarious is what this is. I'm like, please, stunning and brave liberal whammon.
And here's
keep doing what you're doing because I am not going to interrupt you while you're making a mistake.
Correct. And here's another thing is I get mad when some of these people do some of the shit they do. Then I just go, you know what? Reality and time will hammer them. I don't even have to worry about it.
Yep. It's not like human beings in general tend to make impulsive decisions when we have emotional reactions to situations, right? Even though sometimes they can be completely irrational and disconnected from reality because it's just how we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even you said we were talking about the George Floyd thing. You had an emotional reaction, and initially you acted on it. We even, did a show, and then we found out more facts, and I was like, okay, we got to walk this back.
Yeah, yeah. Even we fall for the propaganda sometimes.
Yep.
But the camera angle, everything, it just looked fucked up.
Yeah, it absolutely did. There's no denying it.
But yeah, when the coroner's report was not properly presented, there was a lot of other evidence the judge didn't allow in.
Oh yeah, they actually, and then from what I understand, the second coroner who was brought in eventually did whistleblow that they were told exactly what the result was supposed to be.
Yeah, like the guy we had in the show that spent 4 years in Wayne County without a trial.
Yep.
Once he came on the show and it started getting into the news cycle, they sped his trial. The judge denied him 3 different defenses, and he got hammered.
There you go.
He got sentenced to 8 years.
Bunch of shit.
He went to the big house, and he was there for 4 months, and they paroled him because they knew it was bullshit.
Boom.
So hopefully he gets it all overturned. And
I hope so.
Yeah, but that's Wayne County for you. They're a shithole.
Yes, they are.
All of these blue cities are absolute shitholes.
Every single one of them. Sean St. George, qualified immunity needs to be abolished. The person in a position of public trust must uphold the highest of conduct and ethical standards on and off the job. Immunity encourages abuse of said immunity.
Correct.
You're damn right. Isn't it hilarious how we agree? that anybody in a position of public trust should maintain the highest conduct and ethical standards. However, we consider it a good day if a politician only lies a little bit.
Yeah.
Burn California to the ground. That's a screen name, not a prescription.
But this is what's going to happen. All right. You're going to start seeing representatives and senators start getting charged with big boy pound you in the ass crimes.
Or drilling in the ass crimes.
There are politicians who are worth multi-millions of dollars.
On $100,000 a year salary, no less.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're fucking us.
Yeah. I mean, we have Nancy Pelosi who's outperforming the S&P on the regular by like double digits.
Did you know that there is an app that you can download that will invest your money exactly as Nancy Pelosi does, and it guarantees like a 45% return?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a very similar one, except it's the inverse of everything Jim Cramer tells you to do on his stupid Mad Money show. So basically, it takes the opposite of his advice, and people are still banking like 35% off of it.
Yeah, but the thing is
you suck at your job, bro.
We threw Martha Stewart in prison for 2 years because she took an inside trader tip from her broker.
Yep.
And we have somebody in the fucking Senate who was Speaker of the House.
Not Senate, that's the House.
Oh, whatever. Doing the same fucking thing for decades.
Yeah.
And has got a big fat pass.
Sorry, if I had $30 million in a portfolio or in the bank on my salary, the IRS would be up my ass with a periscope.
Yeah, like what the hell's going on?
Yep. Not that you have any fucking right to be out there at all, IRS. Let's just be clear about that. You're basically the Gestapo.
I'm sorry. I'm just so upset at this whole thing. I keep going in the weeds.
Sorry.
Forgive me.
Burn California to the ground says the rise of super sleuths is a positive when you lean into the crazy. Supply and demand will work its crazy magic as men get everything easier. I don't know about that.
Well, listen, men
I don't feel like
are
life is
highly
easy.
adaptive.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We look at a problem and go,
There you go.
I'm going to take the emotion out of this. All right, this is a fucked up situation. Okay, all right. What do I have at my disposal? Who do I know? And then we work it out, and we come up with a plan.
Damn right.
And the funny thing is when women tell us our problems, we do the exact same thing.
And then they get mad.
And they get mad
because
I just wanted to vent.
Stop venting. It's a classic mistake. We made a whole video about it.
I know. I'm like, what?
All you're doing is taking the negativity that you're experiencing and dumping it into somebody else's lap because you want to feel better. We want to help.
We want to fix it. That's what we do.
Okay? Venting is stupid. All right? Shadow box instead. It's a hell of a lot better, and you might not be a size 14 much longer if you do.
Or at least tell us in the beginning, I'm going to vent now. Then we can turn the switch off.
I am given permission now to engage my selective hearing superpower. Okay. Done. And we're thinking about titties. And possibly some ass. All right.
That's expensive.
It's very expensive here. Hermitage Pep Prepper. At this point, the 5 O's gets what they get. You're not wrong there.
Listen, I don't want to see anyone get, tore up.
Well, no, neither do I. But if you are one of those dudes who gives cops a bad name, sooner or later, karma going to catch up with you. And karma is a stone cold bitch with an 18-inch stainless steel strap on.
I have seen the results of actual real world ambushes.
It's not good.
It is fucking terrible.
Oh, human soup. YouTube viewer, thanks for the best. That's what she said in a long time. Keep saving lives. It's awesome. You helped a father get custody too. Fuck yeah.
I didn't help him. My course did.
Well, you wrote it.
I did.
I produced it. Took me 3 months to edit that shit?
I'm an evil fucking genius. And we got to put it back up for sale.
Yes. I'm thinking like flat rate for both courses and just leave them up for sale. Anybody who wants them can have them. We'll work it out after the show.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You know what? 65 for both courses. We'll call it the 65 and out plan. How does that sound? Or we could just do 50 and out. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Dudes out there who actually, who've been, purchased this and it's, giving you positive results, let us know. Shoot us emails, comments. I'm always curious. I sent one over to my buddy who was on the show a couple months back talking about he's still in the middle of his divorce.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I was like, have you been watching the videos? He's like, I'm going to be honest, bro. I forgot. I was like, you're fucking up by the numbers. I'm sending them to you again.
Figure it out.
I was like, dude, listen to it while you're working. Okay. You can listen to it like a podcast. There are some things that you have to actually physically watch and pay attention to. But for the most part, you can just listen.
Because in divorce court, if you decide to fight just in that arena,
you're going to lose.
You're going against a military that has a Navy, air power, and combat helicopters against you, a grunt with a rifle.
Boom.
You're fucked.
Exactly.
But
hang on.
Use administrative violence, and you could take that battle outside that battle space.
And you can bring in your own reinforcements.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you take it outside that battle space, they don't have the Air Force and the top cover and the artillery and whatever to cover their ass. They are naked to get flanked. And you could do that administratively and fuck them all.
You could drill their ass.
in their business lips.
You could tongue punch their business lips with a howitzer.
Because guess what? Yeah, you're getting your ass kicked in divorce court, but CPS shows up, the IRS, the state tax man, the police because she's selling drugs. Her mother is like running a daycare and not recording the income. The IRS nails her. You could file complaints against the lawyer, against the judge. You could fuck everyone up 3 ways to Sunday and come home smelling like a rose and have a greater chance of getting a positive outcome from that battle space. All right, I'm sorry.
And that's why we spent as long as we did making sure that webinar was perfect.
Because that's like the whole divorce thing is like the number one killer of men.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
what in the blood?
Look, if it could almost get me, it could get anyone.
You're damn right, and it does every day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Off in the weeds again.
Had to be done.
A good day. It's a good day. Sean St. George, I did a stream with some Redonkulas regulars arguing for taking combat vets as armed guards in schools. Pretty sure we made a good case for it.
I'd do it.
Logical and not emotional arguments. I would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I mean, if I was like an armed security guard at a high school, the cops would show up and I'd be better trained than them.
Exactly.
Like,
what you do?
You're here for the shooter? Hold right there. He's already bagged up for you. Yeah, he's on the second floor, bleeding out in the men's room.
Yeah, be fine. Yeah, I mean, make sure you get the janitor on the way up and you mop that shit.
Yeah, I snuck up on him and opened him up. He's done.
There you go. I drilled his ass.
I drilled his ass.
That's gonna be. I'm never gonna let you live that one down, bro.
It's all right. It's okay.
Jimmy Bones got off work early so I can enjoy the full show tonight, which is a winning. What's not winning is every beer from the case I bought yesterday has been flatter than Elliot Page's chest.
That's such a letdown, man.
Never forget what they took from you, dudes. At least she had the common courtesy to do a few nude scenes before she sawed those puppies off.
Well, first of all, I'm not expecting her to live much past 50.
She won't. And
That's
yes, we said she, because we don't misgender people. They're just misgendering themselves. We're not playing along.
Yeah.
Oh, bad news bears. Okay, we got another story here for you. This one comes to us from Dick. Hello, guys. Feel free to read this on one of your shows. I'm sure it'll be a hit. It's a story from South Africa.
Ooh.
Not deep or anything, but screamingly funny. Yeah, just be careful when you're out there on the beach. You don't want to get slammed into by that apartheid. This did not happen to me, but I was assured that the guy who told it to me knew the nephew of the brother of a guy who was there, or maybe he just made it up. I am your father's brother's nephew's third cousin's former roommate.
The friend of a dude of a guy I know.
What does that make us? Absolutely happened. Nothing, which is what you are about to become.
I swear that really happened.
It totally happened, bro.
Yeah.
The Hunting Trip is the name of the story. A number of years ago, a group of friends in South Africa organized a hunting trip. These can be epic or they can be an excuse for drunkenness and debauchery. That's every hunting trip. Anyway, a group of about 10 guys or go out to a farm that contains game, and since the beloved wives are far away, they cater food and throat lubrication for themselves. Phrasing.
Mhm.
They are there for about a week. Every meal is some sort of barbecue, chopped steaks, sausages, usually with a form of grits with a tomato or onion sauce served all over it. Making my mouth water, bro. Hang on. It sounds really fucking delicious right about now. I went to a Blackland barbecue when I was down in Texas in January. Dude, some of the best brisket I've ever had. If you're down in West Texas and you can go to Blackland barbecue, go for it. It's good stuff. The grits is called pap in the south of Africa. Oh, pup. Okay, so it's pronounced pup, but it's spelled like pap, but it's pronounced pup. But it's neither here nor there.
In America, it's pap.
Pap smear. The drinking carries on deep into the night, and the shit-talking becomes epic. Now, this restricted diet of meat and grits and nearly a bottle of hard liquor per day is doing things to the guy's digestion, and everybody is coming down with the dreaded piles. Every man has a bottle of Vicks VapoRub, which he carries in his shirt pocket to apply to the affected area when the itching, burning sensation becomes too much. Every morning, the guys wake up with a humongous hangover. Everyone washes out of a bucket, goes and has a shit, screams in pain, applies the Vicks, and gently pushes any dangling bits back into the areas where the sun don't shine.
Oh, God, this is disgusting. What is piles?
Then they start breakfast, which is bacon, eggs, steak, sausage, chops, etc. And eventually everyone piles, no pun intended, into a pickup with rifles at about mid-morning.
Okay.
Where they go out into the veld and shoot anything they can find from the back of a pickup. This behavior is not approved of by ethical hunters, but these guys just don't care.
Seems legit.
And when they get back to camp in the afternoon, the next bottle gets opened. The animals that were taken are skinned and gutted, and the cycle starts again. Anyway, on the second to last night, one of the guys passes out. I will call him our hero. Having been overserved, and his friends decide they will play an unforgettable trick on him. So they pull down his pants and his underpants.
Oh, no.
This is gay. And take some of the guts they removed from a buck a few hours ago and drop them in his underwear and pull everything up.
Oh, no.
Anyway, the party continues, and when everyone wakes up the next morning, our hero gets up very gingerly, starts to head for the crapper, walking with his legs wide apart, much to the amusement of the other guys. He stays away. The other guys are calling him for breakfast, but they only get mumbles back from the crappers, so they carry on. As they're getting ready for their outing, this guy returns, and he's still walking legs wide apart, and his complexion is gray. He says, boys, I'm taking my pickup right now, and I'm leaving for town to see a doctor. The guy's asking, well, what's wrong, bro? He says, boys, my whole guys have fallen out. I've never seen such a mess. It's taken me the last 30 minutes to get everything back in.
Oh, no.
I need a doctor real quick. Hope you enjoyed the story. I have no idea about its truth, but it's too good not to tell.
That is some fucked up stuff.
Signed,
Wow.
Dickard.
Wow. Wow.
He had to shove them all back up his ass?
That's bad.
This is bad, right?
You don't ever
You
do
could
that.
get like some septic shock from that shit.
Yeah, they're going to have to go in there and dig that out.
Ooh,
That's messed up.
that's very messed up. Now, this next article is not necessarily messed up. But with that being said, I think every dude here has experienced a form of this in some way or another. Maybe some ladies too, although I don't think it's anywhere near as common. And the wording of this article really gives that away. And why? Because it's from Vice, of course. Floodlighting is the new toxic dating trend. Now, you might be wondering what the fuck that is. Oversharing, trauma dumping, floodlighting. It's all the same, at least to me. But apparently some of these behaviors may be driven by harmful intentions. So what do we got here? This is a new example which is gaining traction online. It says, according to Brené Brown, author of The Power of Vulnerability, Teachings of Authenticity, Connections, and Courage, floodlighting occurs when we share too much information about ourselves and our lives in an attempt to protect ourselves from real vulnerability. It seems kind of counterproductive in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Oversharing, not vulnerability, she said. I call it floodlighting. It's interesting. So it's about using vulnerability as a high-intensity spotlight. It involves sharing a lot of personal details all at once to test the waters, speed up intimacy, or see if the other person can handle these parts of you. This is kind of like the sadistic, twisted stepsister of love bombing.
Yeah.
And this has happened to me. And I completely had forgotten about it until I read this.
I just call it water spigot speak.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, and they're really fast. I had a boyfriend, and then I did my sister.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a whore. And I'm just like, oh my God.
They dump everything on you. All the shit that, of course, every man before you was just the worst. Like, all of their ex-boyfriends are toxic. They're not the problem. It's the men, right? And then from that point on, whether it's spoken or unspoken, you are on the hook to make good all of that shit that she just dumped in your lap. That's what she's hoping for. Now, in my, I know it's an empty screen. I took it down. But this was the article here. Good old Vice. What it reminded me of, actually, was when I had just gotten together with my horse chick. So, I mean, it's just an article. I'm reading it as it says it's done, so no big deal. My horse chick, when we had just started dating, all right, she had a diary or a journal, right? And we'd be sitting there, and I'm in college at the time, so I'm working on shit, whatever. And then she's writing in a journal. Like, she's not attempting to hide this from me in any way, shape, or form. And then eventually she hands it over to me. She's like, I really feel like you should read this.
Oh my God.
And it's all about like the feelings that she has for me. Oh, I'm falling for him. He's so great. He's so wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and then all of this shit that I didn't need to know about her underneath, like, he makes me feel so good because, like, it's not this, it's not that, it's not all this other stuff. I'm like, okay.
I don't need to know this.
Now, when you're young and dumb and full of stuff that rhymes with dumb, you're like, oh, yeah. It's like when the chick who friends you calls you marriage material. Like, I totally just need to be with a guy like you. Not you, but a guy just like you. They want to keep you on the hook. Very similar.
It's called wallet farming.
Yeah, wallet farming is a very real phenomenon, of course.
Going in the book.
So there's a little more description here. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. If this has happened to you, I'm interested. Feel free to send us your stories.
Fuck yeah. We'll take any story, man.
Absolutely. According to Alderson, some signs of floodlighting include quick and early disclosure of detailed personal information, an unbalanced exchange of said information, a fast and intense emotional connection. Anybody moved in with somebody they barely knew? And a close anal wysis of reactions to shared information. I know how to pronounce that word. I just think it's funny to call it anal wysis. For example, say you meet someone from a dating app and grab drinks a few days after connecting, and on the date you begin to talk about your childhood, sharing details about your parents' divorce and other traumas. You then drain on about how this impacts you today. E.g. makes you doubt love and loyalty, causes insecurities in dating. All the while, you're closely reading the other person's reactions to determine whether or not they can handle you. Now, this is what I was talking about before with the lie by structure in this article. Reading the other person's reactions. Okay, now, dudes out there, would you ever dump all of your stuff that truly hurts you on the doorstep of a woman that you barely know and expect not to be judged harshly for it?
Yeah, or they just leave.
Heaven forbid you cry.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, men don't do this.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of patience. I've had women do this.
I have
I'll be
too.
like, yeah.
Men don't do this. Women do this.
Yeah.
And because they do it, they assume men do it too. Just like they assume that they're marketing themselves to you as relationship material by talking about how much money they make, that they pay their own bills, that they have a job and a car and all this stuff. We don't fucking care.
Congratulations on winning the adulting game.
Yeah. There was another thing, like the psychological projection. Like, they think we do it because they do it, right? Once upon a time, I met this redhead at a birthday party. His name was Emily. She was gorgeous.
I think I've heard this before.
And I thought we hit it off. No, you haven't, actually.
Okay.
And we
how many redheads do you know?
A few.
You're a dick. All right.
Bit of a ginger ninja in that way.
Mm.
But we exchanged numbers, talked regularly, made a date. Okay. On the day of the date, my grandma had an issues. And at that point in time, she had some problems. And at that point in time, it was very, very shortly after my grandfather had passed away. So I was essentially her medical transportation.
Yeah.
I was taking her to all of her appointments, making sure that she was okay. Now, because of that, I was on the hook for anything that happened. If something goes wrong and she needs to go to the hospital and get blood work done or something like that, I'm taking her. So I had this date scheduled with this chick, and I just had to let her know. It's like, hey, just want to let you know, with my grandma, the hospital, something's going wrong. She needs a full blood panel and whatnot. They're taking her up to, I just want to let you know, like, I need to reschedule. And instead of just saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear about your grandma, you are sharing so much personal. Oh my gosh, I don't need to know this about you. Why would you overshare this kind of information? I'm like, wow. Bullet dodged. Thanks. Yeah, we're not going to reschedule.
I'm out.
Take it easy then. Okay. I'm literally just trying to let you know that, hey, I got to reschedule, and it's not because I'm a dick. I have a legit reason. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's what, I don't know, civilized people do.
Whatever happened to her?
Oh, I don't know. Don't really care either.
Just for shits and giggles.
She wasn't that hot. I'm not going to check up on her.
No. I always I'll look in on people I used to date, and they're just train wrecks.
Well, isn't that usually how it goes?
Oh my God!
Oh, dude, we never did that stream. We were talking about doing like a checking in on the train wreck thing.
Yeah,
yeah, dudes who have been cheated on or just given the business, what have you. You checking in with with this person years later. Maybe they just add you on social media or something. Doesn't necessarily have to be a slingback, but you find out they just train wrecked their lives. I want to hear about that shit. That'd be a fun show.
My buddy John, I'm not going to use his last name. He might be watching the show. He was married to a woman saying her name was Susan. And, she was a fucking crazy bitch. And
no,
I know I don't get it, but that's his business. So I move out to Phoenix. I'm working with him as an investment banker, and I am basically lived in his apartment with him and her for like 2 months until I got my own place. So I heard all of like the nattering. And he just got tongue lashed to death by her like every fucking day.
Don't you love that?
So one day we're at work, and I call him on the line, the intercom line. I'm like, "Hey, John." He's like, "What's going on?" Yeah. He just starts fucking hysterically laughing, just laughing his balls off. They got divorced. And I looked her up like a couple of years ago, and she is an Oompa Loompa now.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. She's so fat. Like, her whole body is just a stuffed sausage.
Stuffed sausage?
Her fingers. I mean, she's just nasty. She's got, like, jowls and a turkey neck gullet. Probably got, she's probably got the front butt where the clitoris grows all the way up to your belly button, and you have an outie and an innie clitoris. That's how nasty. And I was just like, Karma's a bitch. Move along.
It's a Clitosaurus Rex.
Yes. The Clitosaurus Rex. Got to write that down.
It's a front buttosaurus. It's a cuntosaurus. Everybody's like, please stop, Pop. Just stop. Hey, we already got an offer to paint the map of Boxed Wine and Catland. All right. Fellow war hoarder already jumping in. Out freaking standing. We got a $10.
We should make it a coloring book that people could send to women that gave them the business. A coloring book of Boxed Wine and Catland. Just mail it to their house. Such dicks. This is glorious. This is hilarious.
And now because of this, I'm thinking about like a dinosaur version, like Your Ass's Park or something. Jurassic Park. You got the Dildophosaurus.
Dildoarsaurus.
The Craptor. It's just terrible. Good Wrench tossed in 10 over on YouTube. Thank you very, very much, good sir. We got some K-Shaps here we can read here, and then we're going to take a quick break, and we got some effed up but funny videos for you.
Yep.
HKC for Clip and Dicks.
What?
Did he send us a clip?
I
don't see any clips. And I certainly don't want to see any dicks, just so we're clear.
I think he's talking about.
Susan McCarley sent us 30 and says, have a couple of drinks on me. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We can get dinner at Shenanigans for 30. Why not? And Stu sent us 25 and says, is it time for a Spinster Bubble update? Yes, I think it's time for a Spinster Bubble update. I think that's a really good way to phrase it. The Spinster cycle. Yeah.
There are so many women out there who got divorced in their mid-30s who have never been able to get remarried, and they are hating life.
Yes. Stegolyptosaurus. I like it. Instead of saurus, it's sore ass. I like it. Herpes sore ass Rex. There you go. Are they herbivores or herbivores? I don't know. So the world may never know.
Herpes sore ass.
Herpes sore ass Rex. Horrendous. Well, you know what? I gotta pee. I've had almost a full bottle of Guinness. I think I may have a second. What do you think, Pop? You want to do two when we go to New Tech?
Yeah.
Come on.
I think I could do another.
Come on. Tongue isn't numb yet. We got to get to work on that.
Yeah.
So if you want to be around when tongue officially goes numb, and hopefully not get your ass drilled, make sure you follow us on over to New Tech, where you can see hilarious videos that have been sent in by you guys, some more spicy super chats, and more deep fakes like these.
Murphy's in the house and he's got a big boner. Got a big boner, kick you a boner. Bend you over and make you a moaner. When you got important work to do,
the boat's on fire.
You over and use no lube. Murphy's in the house and he's got a big boner.
All right.
I love that he looks like Paul Bunyan without the flannel.
Yeah.
I could picture Murphy showing up like that, green overalls with, just beard. It looks like he's perfectly capable of folding your clothes while you're wearing them, because that's just life with Murphy in the house. Plains Warrior threw us 2 and says, here. Well, thank you very much, good sir. Hope you all enjoyed the first half of the show. We still have a lot more coming up, lots of funny videos for you. I think we got about 21 of them tonight. We're actually fully up to date.
Yep.
Which is never a bad thing. So enjoy the Jeffrey Paul tunes. What do you think here? Yeah, I think we could go for the cruise. Watch the cruise pass by in the background. Enjoy the Jeffrey Paul tunes, and we'll see you over on New Tech in a little bit.
All right.
So wipe your ass with ice cream, and we'll see you in 5.
All right.